What's up, you guys? Wolfenstein 2, the new Colossus, some gameplay footage and overview, weapons upgrades, and abilities. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am so looking forward to this game. Obviously, this is made by Machine Games, Bethesda, and we'll kind of cover some of that as we go along. What we're going to do is cut right into some of the scene where you can look at the weapons and see how you upgrade them and different things like that. Pistol, Sturmgewehr. I'm going to go over all these weapons, but this is just kind of showing you how you choose your weapon, the different options you're going to have for this stuff, and we're going to cut right into some action. Now, what I want to do is kind of cover some of the abilities first, because what you're going to see is the ability of the Battle Walker, where it's like stilts. You'll see it like elevates. You think it might be a jetpack, but it's not. It's kind of enhances a tactical playstyle. So you can deploy your stilts, get a high ground advantage, rain death from above, kind of take cover against vehicles in large buildings. There's also Ramshackle's ability, which enhances a mayhem game playstyle. It's like you just charge head on. The Ramshackles allow BJ Blazkowicz, your character, to literally smash his way through opposing forces by sprinting ahead first in line of fire, and that's kind of quoted from the Bethesda here. And then you got a constrictor harness, which enhances the stealth playstyle. And says you can like squeeze into small crevices and like sneak up behind your enemy. So you're seeing some gameplay here as we're scrolling through different weapons. This gameplay was sent to me by Bethesda, so I appreciate it. Thank you, Bethesda. Maybe we should get a quick overview. If you guys aren't familiar with Wolfenstein, what it is, this is the 8th entry of the Wolfenstein series, and this particular game is the Wolfenstein 2 New Colossus. It's the sequel to Wolfenstein The New Order, which came out back in 2014. And in that game, the Nazis won the World War II. They won. So Blazkowicz, my character, and his circle of allies, even though they defeated that guy, that Wilhelm Death's Head Strauss, even though they killed him, the Nazis still won the war. So now this game is set in about 1961 in Nazi-occupied America. Yeah, America. So now Blazkowicz and his circle of militant, resistance fighters, they're going to try and start a second American Revolution, to go up against this Nazi regime. And I'm going to let the gameplay play in the background because I want to really try and get some of this information out to you guys. Again, that particular Machine Games developer, published by Bethesda. The game comes out on the 27th of October on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and it's due to come out on the Nintendo Switch in 2018. And this game uses the ID Tech 6 engine, so it's pretty good. Like, I really like it for its FPS, but the story itself is really cool. So if you've played some of the really old ones or the latest ones, you'll kind of get an idea of what the gameplay's like. And this is real gameplay footage here, what you're seeing. So some of the weapons, you got a ton of weapons, right? You pick them up at different times throughout the game, and you get like 12 upgrade kits. So each weapon can be kind of upgraded in different and unique ways. Sometimes it can even really like alter the gun. So it might alter it from a bullet firing gun to a rocket launcher, something like that. Might completely alter that particular weapon. I want to cover some of the weapons here. So you got like the Diesel Kraftwerk, right? Says it's available in the Wyatt timeline, so that's a certain section of the game, and it fires small sticky canisters filled with Nazi diesel, and the canisters, they'll stick to walls or enemies, and you can remote detonate them. So that's pretty cool. You got a Laser Kraftwerk that's available in the Fergus timeline, another section of the game, and it fires the high energy laser beams. So you may have seen some of that going on in some of this gameplay already. Right now, we're kind of gonna get into like the stealthy type gameplay. So the Laser Kraftwerks, it's really good against like the armored and the mechanized units, right? So some of the armored and mechanized units are like the Panzer Hounds and like the Nazi super soldier, right? So the Panzerhounds, the fire-breathing crazy. There's just, all kinds of weird things that you're going to come in contact with. So, knowing the right gun to kind of switch through depending on what your enemy is. You got the Sturmgewehr, which is the regular high caliber automatic rifle used by the elite Nazi soldiers. And you can upgrade that with like scoped semi-automatic mode if you don't want it full auto. They have the Kampf pistol, which is the single shot handgun. It fires high explosive ammo. The regular pistol, which is like the Nazi commander's sidearm. And you can put a suppressor, silencer on that via the upgrade kits. You can kind of see some of that going on right now. It's really key if you want to take out some individuals quietly without alerting everyone, because you could get into a warehouse room like we're in, and if you just go ham bone, all of a sudden you're going to be surrounded. So there is an aspect of stealth that can be played. I know it's hard to hear that from me, but so you got the machine pistol, which is the submachine gun, the regular Nazi soldier's submachine gun, high rate of fire, and it can also be silenced with the upgrade kits. There's also another one called the Schockenhammer, a heavy, powerful, triple-barreled, fully automatic combat shotgun. Yes. That's a mouthful, but just remember, it's a shotgun. And it can also be upgraded to cause shrapnel pieces like ricochet, bouncing off walls in the ground and stuff like that to do extra damage. You got hand grenades, high explosive grenades. You got a hatchet, which is Blazkowicz's main melee weapon, and it's like super good close quarters. The Lasergewehr and the Dieselgewehr. So Lasergewehr is a laser weapon, heavy laser weapon. Dieselgewehr, heavy explosive weapon. Both of those are dropped by dead super soldiers. So if you kill the super soldiers, you want to make sure you get in there and pick up any guns that might be there. Always look for new guns, right? So the idea is this is in New Orleans. Right, New Orleans, right? So right now in the gameplay, what you're seeing is Blazkowicz he's trying to work his way over to the U.S. bank, right? He's trying to go over to the bank and recruit this guy named Horton, because Horton has his own group of resistance fighters. Meanwhile, the other, like Anya and the other groups in the circle, they're headed down toward, like, to clear these mines out on the shoreline, because they have a stolen Nazi U-boat, right? They're going to use the U-boat to try and get out any other like civilians and citizens in the area. So I've got this paragraph here that kind of describes what's going on. So New Orleans is under quarantine, right? The Nazi soldiers like oppressing and purging the streets. They're killing everybody, totally indiscriminately killing everyone. They said the once eclectic and boisterous city streets have turned into a depressed, dilapidated, burned out ghetto of bygone era. The colorful Creole architecture now sags in ruins under the shadow of monstrous wall. So they built a giant wall by the Nazis that contains any of the citizens trying to get away, right? So they got fire-breathing Panzerhounds, Nazi super soldiers, armed to the teeth, all over the streets, alleyways. You hear gunfire screams, patrolling helicopters, once the delightful sounds of jazz are all gone. So the state of the city serves as a reminder of the resistance's cause and what they hold so dear and why they're doing this. It's like they're not overseas this time. They're actually at home, even though BJ Blazkowicz, he was raised by his Polish mother. He had an American father and a Polish mother, and then some of his other group like Grace Walker, she's born in the South in Mississippi. Then you got Anya, she was born in Poland as well, and Horton I think he was born in Tennessee. So this is kind of like your main characters in here, but I absolutely love the Wolfenstein series, right? I really do. You really get it. You just look at these weapons. You look at the weapons wheel, obviously dual wielding, different types of weapons, right? It's not the same weapon in both hands. Sometimes it can be like you could have two of those shotguns one in each hand. You're gonna see kind of a little mini boss here again. See the different elements charging up, some of those laser guns we were talking about. The gameplay, the settings, it's pretty interesting how these games have kind of come full circle, and there's different games kind of showing up in America now as the battleground. with Wolfenstein, they've never been afraid. They've never backed down from the politically correct use of the word Nazis, right? Because that's what this is about. It's a game, and they're fighting Nazi super soldiers. They're fighting Nazi technology, right? And interestingly enough, this is what's supposed to be if Nazi Germany had won the Second World War. So it's always pretty interesting to me. Now there's some. This game got rated M because of the language and the gunplay, obviously. But there's some pretty funny lines. Like the voice acting is really good. The one-liners, that type of stuff. It's pretty funny. So from that point of view, it's really interesting as well. It's not just your run-of-the-mill FPS. You've got a really good FPS with a ton of different weapons, explosives, lasers, all this different stuff. But you have this really cool storyline and these characters that have a pedigree that's been built over the last 7 or 8 games, right? Well, you look at it as built over the last 3 games. Talk about what's going on, kind of, because this is the sequel to it. But they've built this pedigree, so you know what these characters are. You know their attitudes. You know what they're good at, what they hate, what they're fighting for, what they're fighting against. Very, very interesting. And I find that these abilities, if you're watching this, again, from the gameplay, it almost looks like you're jetpacking up, but you're stilting up. That's why you stand on the other side of a bus that's been turned over, get up on your stilts, and then you can shoot down over that. There's a lot of different ways to play. Again, you can, I always say stealth. You're gonna play stealthy. You can play a lot of different ways: tactical, straight charge ahead, go nuts, go bonkers, or play stealthy. Really, I like kind of a mix mash of all of them, right? So in Wolfenstein, I love, as long as I'm full on ammo, that's a big thing. If you got your ammo all stocked up, you got your health, your armor, you're good to go, get in there and battle. But there are some of those areas that you're going to want to go in stealth, take some dudes out, because some of them, when you activate it, you'll get the boss coming in as well as all these troops. You want to be able to take out those troops and then just fight the boss alone. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to get away with that, but that's when you come in with your silencers, your suppressors, take these dudes out quietly, get around. You're always looking for loot. Always looking for loot, guns, ammo, health, armor. There's pickups all over the place, so you're going to want to always be looking for that. But you could just go in hot and heavy. What I'm going to do at the last, the last part of this video, maybe the last, maybe even 7 to 10 minutes, I'm just going to play out a cutscene where he actually meets Horton, kind of meets the little resistance group that he's trying, because they got to keep recruiting. They need to get bigger, more people to fight against this occupation. So I'm going to let the last part play out. You guys can hear the dialogue and what's going on, and kind of get an idea of what to expect from this. Again, well, thanks to Machine Games for making this game, right? And Bethesda for getting me this footage once again, so I can pass on some information, show you guys real gameplay, so you guys can kind of decide just how much you're gonna look forward and be excited as I am to playing this game, because I love Wolfenstein. Anyway, that's gonna do it for me. Keep watching. Watch through this cutscene.
Go on, son. Take my hand.
You a preacher?
No, this? Lord, I picked these rags up off the streets. Name's Horton.
William J. Blaskowitz.
Blaskowitz. Terror-belly hellfire, son. Ain't you supposed to be dead?
I recovered.
Well, terror-belly don't mean to be rude, but what's your business around these parts, apart from saving our sorry asses?
I'm with the Cry-South Circle, and we're starting a revolution.
Are you now? Now this here's the last remaining haven for the cancerous growth of independent free thinkers, spreading all over the South and yonder. Oh, we be the outcast, the poor. Well, everyone who ain't part of the American goddamn bourgeois. That man right there, getting himself a drink, that's my old-timer friend Paris Jack. Paris Jack is a brawler, a cutter, a true believing anarchist, and a hell of a clair on that player, ain't that right, Paris?
Don't like to toot my own horn, except literally.
Streets are quiet, Horton. Nobody's... Wait. Yes. Streets are quiet.
Now that's the professor. She got them eyes, can see a speck of dirt in a cow's ass off 100 yards. I tell you, them goddamn nasty son bitches coming here, we gonna shoot their asses out. I tell you what, going out in a blaze of glory, hallelujah!
You got a lot of good people here. You should join us. We could always use more good people.
How you reckon to start this revolution of yours, Terror Billy?
Terror Billy.
Holy shit, it's him.
Didn't that Nazi bitch kill you?
Seems our friend here kinda told St. Pete to go fuck himself.
He's with the Crossout Circle, a walking legend.
I know who he is. Oh, damn it. Here they come. Paris, I'm feeling a little jittery. You mind taking the edge off?
Let me see what I can do about that.
You know, my ma always said, never trust a man can't handle his whiskey. So you sit right down, say Terror Billy, and drink up.
Ugh. What in the world the fuck is this shit?
Old Horton Special.
God damn.
Now listen, Terror Billy, I respect your ambition, but there's nothing can be done no more. The world has sank into the crapper, and all we can do now is drink this whiskey and watch the vortex suck it all down.
Didn't expect your belly to be quite so young.
We've been fighting for a revolution since long before them Nazis came here. We were the first to start building a civil rights movement to advocate equality for everyone. You know the concept of civil rights, Terror Billy? No, you don't. You're just a jarhead, ain't you?
Daddy, I laid my life on the line for freedom, justice, and the American way, while you and your bohemian friends were passing out Bolshevik propaganda and opposing the draft on every street corner. What good is your fucking equality? You can't muster the backbone to stick up for your people while the coyote's scratching at your front door.
We stood up against the imperialist war machine of the United States of America and the greedy money men of Wall Street who was itching to send the children of the proletariat off to die in foreign lands so that they could be filling their coffers. It weren't their sons bleeding on the beaches. No, they drafted people like you for their dirty work while they was watching the dollars roll in. You're the pawn, the patsy of cantankerous men in Marble Mansion. Well, I see through that shit. Decided not to be a party to it.
And yet here you are, guns in hand, shooting Nazis, just like me. Difference is you come late to the party. Trapped your kind, gotten their asses in gear, we'd have won the war.
Don't spill that shit on the table, Hort, then leave right through it.
This'll get you drunk, Terror Billy. You upstanding lackey of the establishment, chief.
Listen, pal, I ain't got time for your horse shit. You gotta make the call. Give up and die or step the fuck up.
Ain't one to argue with you, Terror Billy. Too tired to fight.
You tired? Yes, fuck you. I got kids on the way. And I'll be damned if I'm gonna raise them in a world run by these Nazi assholes. So what's it gonna be? You hillbilly, degenerate moonshiner, Bolshevik cowards, goddamn traitors.
Lord, I ain't never seen a man remain coherent after more than one shot of old Horton Special. I like you, Billy. Like your gumption. All right, let's start this revolution.